Hello, friends, and welcome to Adventures in Pixie Land. My name's Amy, and I'm an ordained minister. And we are in Bible study. We're in NIV. We're in Judges, and we're in chapter 6. Gideon. Again, the Israelites did evil in the eyes of the Lord, and for 7 years he gave them into the hands of the Midianites. Because the power of Midian was so oppressive, the Israelites prepared shelters for themselves in the mountain clefts, caves, and strongholds. Whenever the Israelites planted their crops, the Midianites, Amalekites, and other eastern peoples invaded the country. They camped on the land and ruined the crops all the way to Gaza, and did not spare a living thing for Israel, neither sheep nor cattle nor donkeys. They came up with their livestock and their tents like swarms of locusts. It was impossible to count the men and their camels. They invaded the land and ravaged it. Midian so impoverished the Israelites that they cried out for the Lord for help. When the Israelites cried to the Lord because of Midian, he sent them a prophet who said, "This is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says. I brought you up out of Egypt, out of the land of slavery. I snatched you from the power of Egypt and from the hand of your oppressors. I drove them before you. I drove them before you and gave you their land. I said to you, I am the Lord your God. Do not worship the gods of the Amorites in whose land you live. But you have not listened to me. The angel of the Lord came and sat down under the oak tree in Ophrah, Ophrah, that belonged to Joash the Abiezrite, Abiezrite, where his son Gideon was threshing wheat in the winepress to keep it from the Midianites. When the angel of the Lord appeared to Gideon, and he said, "The Lord is with you, mighty warrior." "But sir," Gideon replied, "if the Lord is with us, why has all this happened to us? Where are all his wonders that our fathers told us about when they said, 'Did not the Lord bring you out of Egypt?' But now the Lord has abandoned us and has put us into the hand of Midian." The Lord turned to him and said, "Go in the strength you have and save Israel out of Midian hands. Am I not sending you?" "But Lord," you get a footnote of A, or sir, Gideon asks, "how can I save Israel? My clan is the weakest in Manasseh, and I am the least in my family." The Lord answered, "I will be with you, and I will strike down all the Midianites together." Gideon replied, "If I now have found favor in your eyes, give me a sign that this is really you talking to me. Please do not go away until I come back and bring my offering and set it out before you." And the Lord said, "I will wait until you return." Gideon went in, prepared a young goat, and from an ephah of flour he made bread without yeast, putting the meat in a basket and its broth in a pot. He brought them out and offered them to him under the oak. The angel of God said to him, "Take the meat and the unleavened bread and place them on the rock, and pour out the broth." And Gideon did so. With the tip of the staff that was in his hand, the angel of the Lord touched the meat and the unleavened bread. Fire flared from the rock, consuming the meat, and it disappeared. When Gideon realized that it was the angel of the Lord, he exclaimed, "Ah, sovereign Lord, I have seen an angel of the Lord face to face." But the Lord said to him, "Peace, do not be afraid. You're not going to die." So Gideon built an altar to the Lord there and called it the Lord's Peace. To this day, it stands in Ophrah of Abiezrites. Abiezrites. That same night, the Lord said to him, "Take the second bull from your father's herd, the one 7 years old." Let's see, or take a full-grown mature bull from your father's herd. Tear down your father's altar to Baal and cut down the Asherah pole beside it. That is a symbol of the goddess Asherah. Here, and that's true in other places in Judges as well. Then build a proper kind of altar, or build with layers of stone an altar to the Lord your God on top of this height. Use the wood of the Asherah pole that you cut down. Offer a second bull as the burnt offering. So Gideon took 10 servants and did as the Lord told him. But because he was afraid of his family and the men of the town, he did it at night rather than in the daytime. In the morning, when the men of the town got up, there was Baal's altar demolished, with the Asherah pole cut down, and the second bull sacrificed on a newly built altar. Then they asked each other, "Who did this?" When they carefully investigated, they were told, "Gideon, son of Joash, did it." The men of the town demanded of Joash, "Bring out your son. He must die, because he has broken down Baal's altar and cut down the Asherah pole beside it." But Joash replied to the hostile crowd around him, "Are you going to plead Baal's cause? Like, are you going to plead for your God? Are you trying to save him? Whoever fights for him shall be put to death by morning. If Baal really is a god, he can defend himself when someone breaks down his altar." So that day they called Gideon Jerubbaal, saying, "Let Baal contend with him," because he broke down Baal's altar. Now all the Midianites, Amalekites, and other eastern peoples joined forces and crossed over the Jordan and camped in the valley of Jezreel. Then the Spirit of the Lord came upon Gideon, and he blew the trumpet, summoning the Abiezrites to follow him. He sent messengers throughout Manasseh, calling them to arms, and go also into Asher, Zebulun, and Naphtali. So they too went up to meet them. Gideon said to God, if you will save Israel by my hand, as you have promised, look, I will place a wool fleece on the threshing floor. If there is dew only on the fleece and all the ground is dry, then I will know that you will save Israel by my hand, as you have said. And that is what happened. Gideon rose early the next day. He squeezed the fleece and wrung out the dew, a bowl full of water. Then Gideon said to God, "Do not be angry with me. Let me make just one more request. Allow me one more test with the fleece. This time, make the fleece dry and the ground covered with dew." That night, God did so. Only the fleece was dry, and all the ground was covered with dew. And that is a good thing to remember. When in doubt, pray, right? And don't be afraid to ask for specific signs. You're not really going to upset him when you ask for specific signs. Because look, he's trying to communicate with you as much as you're trying to communicate with him. So if you give him signs so he can give you yes and no's or direct you in a way, to him, that's positive. That's, yes, they want to. They want to talk. We're trying to talk. Let me steer you so that you can go about getting, your goals, your healthy goals, in a safe way. Because that's what he's trying to do. So just remember that. When in doubt, pray. Don't be afraid to ask for specific signs. So until the next video, friends.